Today we'll be discussing Hallorann's box and Hank's strange connection to it. And stick around because at the end we'll be discussing some popular trending fan comments.
All right, so let's get into the scene. What's in the box? What do you got in there, buddy?
I know everyone's curious, at least the ones that haven't been following the whole...
Yeah, and that was a really good scene. I really thought it was cool, too, that, the glue singled out Hallorann and kind of just brought him into a whole nother mental universe.
Right, I mean, he's definitely the most dangerous one in the group next to Leroy, apparently, but I don't know. Leroy didn't really live it up to his legend this episode.
Exactly. Leroy was kind of no match. He was outclassed by far. But overall, the whole scene with the box was pretty traumatic. It basically brings Hallorann back to a childhood event that occurred with his grandfather and his grandmother. And you know what I was wondering in that scene is was the grandma actually there? Is that her spiritual version of her? Or was this Pennywise?
I took it all as Pennywise. At first I thought it was that, but then when the grandpa started opening or laughing like Pennywise, and then the eyes started twitching, then I realized it's just all a construct of Pennywise to mess with him.
Full construct. But other than that, as we know, the box is part of his shining ability, which is mentioned in Dr. Sleep and the Shining movies. It's basically the ability Hallorann uses as a psychic power, an extra power he has to hide his emotions, his fears, and other spiritual beings.
Right, so he could hide parts of himself that he's afraid of.
Yeah.
Right?
He locks his memories away in the box.
It's like a trauma box.
The trauma box, yeah. That's exactly what it is. What's in the box? Trauma!
There you go.
That's funny, right? I mean, there's no telling what type of beings are in the box. Hallorann's a pretty grown man by now, so I'm guessing he's probably, ran into his fair share of ghosts, ghouls, and goblins.
Yeah, I'm imagining, I thought it was the power to see dead people.
Well,
that's what it seems like.
Apparently, Hallorann dampens his shine by locking some of those memories in the box and the things he sees. So at the end of the episode where he sees Paul, apparently that's due to the fact that his box is open. So he's more sensitive now to other spiritual beings. So they can toy with him and mess with him. It makes him a little less powerful.
Yeah, it pretty much destabilizes him.
Yeah, Pennywise dropped his defense, basically.
He's
like, I got you, bro. I know you got this box.
Damn, and that just means that Pennywise is a lot smarter than we give him credit for.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's been planning this the whole time, brother. You know, he's been foreshadowing this work.
Yeah, he has something big in store because they were mentioning, the Indians were mentioning that he's been kind of pretty low effort this whole season of himself. Like this 26-year season, there hasn't been as many killings or murders, and they're expecting one grand.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're right. The natives were saying that. But I think it's probably something in his way, a.k.a. Hallorann, most likely. And he's being a little cautious, and he got him where he needed him. That box that contains a lot of Hallorann's power and a lot of things he went through as a child, especially with his grandfather. And I honestly think his grandfather is in the box too.
Yeah, I mean, based on some of the things that you told me off air about his grandfather, I would imagine
he's a terrible person.
Right.
He beat him. He chained him to that bathroom tub. And there's also some sexual offenses that went on with his grandfather.
Right. So, I mean, that's a whole lot of trauma right there. So,
yeah, big time.
So maybe that's really what was unleashed, but it has something to do with the dead too, because I did see a reference online saying that when he taught this to the kid from The Shining, it was in Dr. Sleep, it was because he had the ghost from the hotel still plaguing him.
Yes, and he locked the ghost in the box.
So it's kind of strange that now the box is open, he could see other ghosts, he gets to see Polly. So it made me feel like maybe just his whole ability to see ghosts in general was something he locked away because he has other ghosts plaguing him, or all ghosts plague him. I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, ghosts annoy you, right? Like in The Shining, Dr. Sleep. They're just annoying entities. They kind of toy with you and they bother you. So the kid, Danny, from Dr. Sleep, obviously, as a child, he was being haunted by these ghosts, and they just mess with him all the time. So that's why he locked them in the box. But at the end of Dr. Sleep, the box opens, and it attacks like the witch lady.
Yeah, I
all
remember that.
the souls they're accumulating in the box.
That's how they were able to defeat her.
And I think I don't remember the ending of Doctor Sleep, but I think it was something like she was trying to open his box or something. He was like, he tricked her to do it. He's like, don't do it. She did it. She's like, what's in here? Poof. Monsters come out and start tearing her apart.
Oh, no.
It was like a Jack in the Box.
Yeah, I think I'll go back and rewatch it, but it definitely was a great movie. And it's cool how it's all tying into this universe.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's a good tie-in. So here's some interesting things about Hallorann. The show is certainly setting up for Hallorann's Black Spot, which apparently is either a club or a diner with his friends, the other pilots. Which is in the novel, which we know obviously is going to be in the show, right? Because they've been showing that. They're foreshadowing them having their own spot already.
Right.
So some people think that this whole Pennywise release the box thing kind of leads to the novel's fire that occurs at Hallorann's bar or whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good theory. I guess it could cause, it was like the first domino effect.
Yeah,
the chain.
to the lead of this. But this show also lets us know by, initiating the Black Spot plot line that this continues beyond what's happening right now. So it lets us know there's going to be some type of calm in Hallorann's life in which Pennywise does a U-turn and comes back.
I mean, I could definitely see them already doing this in other episodes already. They're setting things up for the next
future.
season already.
Yeah.
Almost in a way. It's like little small breadcrumbs.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we got the actor of Paul, who actually teased that his character's not going to come back much. We're not going to see much zombie action from him. But there are some amazing, scary things that are going to emerge from Hallorann's box.
Ooh. Spooky.
Yeah, maybe Justin Timberlake will pop out. You never know, right?
It is that time of year.
It's that time of year.
And all right, that brings us on to our next mystery, Hatchet Hank. And where does his storyline fall within this whole series? Currently, all we know is that somehow or something attacked the bus on the Route 9.
Yeah, as soon as they said that, I mean, they gave us a hint, right? They're like, something attacked the bus. Well, it wasn't a coyote. Like it ripped apart the bus and everyone in it. It's
yeah,
crazy.
it murdered many people. And for the time of it being, like, what else could be?
And let me tell you, Pennywise has some balls, bro. He's just doing things out in the open in this one. The whole Maddie thing, he's just crazy right now.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it on the timing, right? Like, he is kind of desperate. We're like down to like, I think a week before the end of his reign.
Oh, yeah. Then he goes into his hyperbolic time chamber.
Yeah, he goes to slumber. So he's really kind of like, I think, forcing things to happen as fast as possible to make it happen.
That could be. I mean, he also knows that like the natives are kind of coming after him too, with the little daggers and whatnot. The little shards waving their magic wands. So, he's doing what he needs to do, but he's obviously manipulating Hank heavenly. I mean, you saw the guard at the prison. It was like Pennywise's face.
That's right. Yeah.
That one threw me. I was like, okay, I see what he's doing. He's like setting up for something. And a lot of people think he's just trying to torture the little girl further, Hank's daughter.
I feel like it's deeper than that.
It's got to be deeper than that, right?
Yeah.
Because, this whole story with Hank and Ingrid, Miss Kirsch, it's not new to the series because Miss Kirsch is in the books and the novels and whatnot, but this backstory didn't exactly happen the way the HBO's portraying it. I mean, but, perhaps there's a grander reason why.
Yeah, I think it has to either... Okay. Yeah, I think either it's going to come down to something with the Black Spot again.
Could be, yeah.
Possibly, or Hank is going to be the ultimate fall man for some type of massacre.
Yeah. Maybe that's how the military forgets about this all at the end. So the movies can go on.
Exactly.
But I do know that, at some point in the novel, Pennywise does imitate Miss Kirsch. He actually takes her body when he's kind of like taunting Beverly. And then there's also a fan theory that Beverly hears a voice in the drain, and that drain is actually Hank's daughter's voice. Because in the novel, she's already dead. She was just one of the children that died in a massacre many, many years ago.
I see. A
lot of mysteries, man. Let me tell you, Hank is probably the most mystery-filled character of this series right now.
Yeah.
And even though it feels like we're coming to a climax, we're getting some information on where this is going, I kind of still feel a bit empty, to be honest with you.
With the show or with Hank?
No, with Hank.
Okay.
Yeah, not with the show. This episode was great. It brought it back together for
It
me.
really did, yeah. It really did.
Like, you know, I felt satisfied with this episode. But the Hank thing, it's like, where's this leading us?
I don't know. I've been very curious since the beginning to what his whole story plot
It just
line.
can't be like Leroy's wife's side story forever.
That's what I thought it was kind of going to at one point, but then we got so much like extra information this episode about him, which made me think, okay, no, there's something deeper here that's going on. I mean, just look at how much screen time Leroy's wife, Miss Hanlon, got this episode. She didn't have much, so you could really say she definitely is like a side plot line character that has nothing to really do with the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Even though her story kind of falls into Hank's story.
Yeah, they're kind of like intertwined right
So
now.
you could say Hank is still kind of like a tertiary main plot to the main story.
Yeah.
You know?
You know what was cool when the natives were talking about how Pennywise is influencing the mood of the town?
Yeah.
And that kind of like shown itself in Hank's story when the dad kind of crossed the line, tried to shoot him. Not saying that any dad probably wouldn't do that, but you can just tell by the anger of the city and how they're just going crazy that Pennywise is influencing chaos in Hank's storyline.
It's interesting how they dropped that little clue to us that Pennywise sheds, and his shedding is discarded in the water that all the residents drink in the town.
Yeah, that was crazy.
It's kind of creepy too at the same time.
It's like they're drinking Pennywise juice.
Yeah, they're drinking
They're
Pennywise.
drinking his essence.
Exactly. It's like, what? So almost everyone in town is kind of infused with the essence
He's
of
like, you're all
Pennywise.
part of me.
Man.
All right, so let's get into some popular fan comments online. As we know, this episode is massively trending. It's full of lots of information. And something that stood out to me is Marge.
Yeah.
Marge is back. She's joined the gang. We're in the redemption era of Marge. What do you feel about that?
I'm crossed about it, honestly.
Too many kids, right, at this point?
Yeah.
We could shave one off, you know?
And also, like, I mean, I guess she got what she deserved on the last episode, so I guess I could I could bury the hatchet. But she was about to set up Lily in a bad way that I was not happy about.
Yeah, it was mean. Considering all the things that Lily's been through and all the trauma, it's like, why would you even try her like that? But then again, like, I guess that's just her character. I mean, hopefully she becomes a better person from this experience. But to bring her down there with them, nah, come on now. I don't think that was necessary. They could have left her up there.
I mean, she's crippled at this point, too. So
She got one eye. Well, what's she's even going to do?
she's like, I can't see in the dark.
Yeah. First of all, that whole plan was terrible. It's like, let's just go down there and save Matt. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Lily really was not thinking straight with that plan.
None of them were. And which leads us into another popular issue is like the kids took 3 pills each.
Yeah.
What's up with that one? Like 3 pills is a lot. What were these kids thinking?
Yeah.
You think Leroy's son would have had more sense? Isn't he supposed to be the smart one?
I know. Honestly, it was not realistic because those 3 pills for those kids at that, like, at their size, it would have passed them out. They would have been knocked out.
I thought they were going to be dead, honestly. I was
Yeah.
like, 3 pills, like, these kids would probably die, like, or something crazier happened than just the world slowing down.
Right. And I wonder what it was. Like, what was it they took? Some type of...
I don't know, some type of medicine probably for anxiety.
They didn't have Xanax back then.
It's probably an anxiety medicine.
Those were probably the Quaaludes from the...
Quaaludes. Got the mom like this.
Kids popping Quaaludes right now.
For real. I mean, the drugs were probably on a different level at that time, too. They had less restrictions and less understanding of things. Mm-hmm. But I thought that was silly. I don't know why HBO put that in. Like, the whole, we're going to take these pills so we could be fearless. They did nothing. They didn't help them at all. Like, there was really no reason for this pill drugged up kid scene at all. It was totally unnecessary.
Besides it just being like some comedic relief and to show us that the show is truly like rated R, HBO. Like,
yeah, you think they're pushing the limit with children?
No, I mean, it's an HBO show. So like HBO always has like free range in a sense. It's like,
they
could.
Well, that's what I mean. They're kind of like pushing the limits to kind of make it look a little crazier than like the average show.
Yeah, like,
kids are taking drugs.
This is not Netflix. Type shit.
This ain't no Netflix.
We HBO. We put kids on drugs here.
Kids all strung up in the corner. That's crazy.
All right, so this commenter online wanted to call out the specific line that Rose said when she noted, "You think you could put a leash on this thing?" And they're going off on it because they love the trope of how that you can't control like something that's out of control, like a force that's beyond your control. And he goes on to note here, like, this is a Lovecraftian story basically of Jurassic Park. It's going to be right. Like government goes in, or the humans come in, they try to control something that you can't tamper with forces beyond your control.
I kind of don't agree with this guy. I think realistically, if the U.S. government wanted to control this thing, they could, because it obviously has a weakness. There's the rocks.
Yeah, you know,
at least in the show, right? The other Pennywise, it kind of makes sense, right? Because these daggers don't exist in the other Pennywise universe.
No, they don't.
But in this one, they have a weapon. So Pennywise has a power system. He's kind of nerfed at this point. And it looks like there's a way to beat him or contain him or make a weapon. I mean, all the possibilities are on the table.
Yeah, I think really he just wants to see where like the army gets pretty much rocked by Pennywise at full force by trying to underestimate him.
Yeah, I mean, but if the dinosaurs had kryptonite, it would have been a lot easier for Jurassic Park.
Yeah, fair point.
It's like,
and I was thinking back on these rock story, and I think I understand a little bit more also why
it's silly, bro. Like anybody could just make a rock necklace, and that's it.
For sure, I get that.
You can jab them up,
But like at the same time, it would also explain in the It universe why it has only ever stayed in Derry. And why it hasn't in years and years of being in Derry not just spread across the world.
Yeah, I get it. HBO is trying to give us some clarity to things in a way that we don't already have. I get that. But it also does set the American military up to have a way to defeat him.
Yeah, or at least contain him.
Yeah. All right, so the counter argument to the guy that was kind of saying that you can't defeat intergalactic beings, they'll never win, is basically how do they actually lose? That's the question, right? With all these tools that they now have, and Pennywise is nerfing, how do they lose? Because I don't see how the U.S. government would lose and how they would just give up.
Yeah, and even more so, how they're going to explain losing and just being okay with just leaving Pennywise there to terrorize a town.
Yeah.
Forever.
Exactly, because obviously the general answers to someone. So someone out there knows the truth. Someone knows about this town. He's not just there on his own pocket change,
No, he has to get funding from Washington, right? So
exactly. So HBO's gonna have to bring in some really good writers to sell this one.
Yeah.
To sell the losing of the U.S. military and them just giving up and no longer coming back. And especially now that they have a way to beat him. And I think that's going to be the difficult part about this series. Maybe we might not be as satisfied as we think at the end. It'll be like a Game of Thrones ending.
I think it's going to leave a lot of things unanswered and cliffhanger-y kind of stuff.
So, yeah, like everyone's already talking about it. We're in episode 5, and this is a question a lot of people have now that we have weapons and we have ways to defeat him. How does the U.S. government lose in this one? How they just give up and never come back? I just don't see how HBO is going to spin that one.
I don't think we're going to get an answer for it. It's going to be one of those plot holes that are going to be left.
You think so?
At least until
it's going to be like, it's over.
At least until maybe the start of the next season. And then I really think the way they're going to frame the show is going to be like every season is going to be a jump in 26 years.
Yeah.
So the next one should be the next 26 years.
You know what? Now that I think of it, right? Let me think of this thoroughly. All these people in this show are ancestors of characters in the movies. Mm-hmm. And realistically, if you just went through all this stuff in Derry, you would leave. So somehow there might be some sort of memory wipe that occurs for all the cast members.
Okay.
That's the only way that I think that this could make sense for people to be okay with it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, because they're all descendants of further characters in the other movies.
Yeah, but to this guy's point in his comments, how does the military all of a sudden lose all the documentation that they have now collected on
exactly.
it?
So the only thing I can think of is some type of full memory wipe occurs. I don't know how it's going to happen or how HBO is going to spin it. I don't even think it's going to be good. But it's the only way I think that I can accept them staying there and having children. And growing families, right? It's kind of unrealistic.
Yeah, I can see it.
Like, these are the descendants of the characters in the movies, in the novels. So it's like, how do we accept them staying? The only way is they gotta have some sort of memory wipe. It's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, but that still wouldn't explain the people outside of Derry that know about this because, like you mentioned, the general's not acting alone.
It doesn't. They haven't introduced
Someone in the FBI, someone in the CIA knows about this, and they have files about Derry. They have files that they collected on it.
Absolutely do. Absolutely.
So, like...
He's got to be having those generals having a phone call to someone.
Definitely.
On a regular basis.
And maybe that's how it's going to end on the season. I mean, I think we're on episode 5, right? And I'm assuming now, based on how it's been moving, we're probably only going to get 7 episodes.
Yeah, you think so?
I think there's only 2 more episodes left. For now.
Well, let us know in the comments. How do you feel about this? How do you think the military forgets? How do you think this is actually going to end? All right, well, this episode gave us lots of information of what might happen in the future and current clues on what's going on and mysteries. And this episode really redeemed itself, especially with the Pennywise reveal. All right, drop your comments below. Let us know how you feel, and we'll see you in the next one.
Take care.